Hey, y'all, Eric Adcock. Well, it's finally happened. They've stopped making the penny. The last penny was minted this week, and it's over with, folks. No more pennies. No more. We've abused it. President Trump says it's going to save $56 million not to print the penny. And the stores are going to round down. So anything, say if you buy something for $10.02, they're going to round it down. They're not going to round anything down. They're going to round it up. But regardless, the penny's gone. I can remember talking to my grandmother, and I asked her, especially around Christmas time, I'd ask her, what'd she get for Christmas when she was a kid? And when she was a kid, we're talking like, 1915, something like that. She said, well, on a good year, if my parents had a good year, I'd get a penny and some candy and stuff like that. I'm like, well, what would you buy with a penny? Because this is the 70s now, when I was a kid. And she said, well, you could buy 3 or 4 pieces of candy with a penny and stuff like that. I can remember people just throwing pennies away, walking out and in the parking lot and seeing just pennies laying everywhere. There's no more pennies. They've stamped the last one. Ironically enough, they saved the last 4 or 5, and I'll put a link to the article in the description below about they've kept the last 5 or 6 so they can auction them off in a couple of years. In other words, the last 2025 penny that's worth a penny will probably go on auction in a couple of years and probably sell for millions. It's kind of ironic. But it just goes to show you that you don't appreciate things until it's gone. Art is not appreciated until the artist is gone. Sadly enough, you don't appreciate your family until they're gone. But the penny is like, it's the, you can no longer give bad advice like your 2 cents worth. You can no longer work for pennies. It's over with. Banks, even in my area, are already having shortages of pennies. And I wrote this little idea, and I want to share that. It's going to be a very long podcast because apparently Kit wants to podcast. He's up in my lap right now. But anyway, I wrote that when the penny finally fades from our pockets, it will not be missed for its worth, but remembered for its symbol. It was the humblest of witness of trade, the smallest voice in the great chorus of commerce. Its copper face, worn smooth by countless hands, spoke of patience, of slow rhythm of exchange. When it disappears, it will remind us that the smallest measure of value, like moments, are easy to overlook until they vanish. And that, in our haste to progress, we sometimes lose the echoes of modest things that once held meanings. People in a few years, kids especially born, going forward, will never know the price of a penny. They'll never know how hard it was to be so poor you don't rub 2 pennies together. And no one looks at one brick and thinks, man, if I have 10,000 of those, I can build a house. One brick by itself doesn't build a house, but I was taught that if you save pennies, they become dimes, and dimes become quarters, and quarters become dollars. But all that's gone now, so we'll have to start at the nickel. And trust me, the nickel is the next to go. And it's not so much about commerce or nostalgia. It's just the fact that pennies did add up. I can remember that growing up, that pennies added up. So now we'll find out just how easy things round up and round down. But it's kind of ironic. You wait, in about 2 or 3 years, those last couple of, stamped pennies will go for millions. And some billionaire out there will buy something that worth a penny for millions and millions of dollars on an auction. So if you, like I've always said, or like I was always taught, save your pennies. Save your pennies, because now going forward, they're going to be worth something. Right? Right.